Hi, my name is Rachel Broman, and the book that I read for my project is called The Black Stallion and Satan. In the book, Alex Ramsey, the main character of the story, gets this horse named Satan. He's had him now for 3 or 2 years, and he signs him up for this international horse race. When Abai Isak dies, the owner of the Black Stallion, Satan's father, Alex Ramsey, gets possession of the Black Stallion once again. But he finds out also that the Black Stallion is also entered in the international horse race. And he has also been chosen as the rider for the Black Stallion. When they get to the stable, they wonder what the reaction will be of the Black Stallion seeing his colt then, because he hasn't seen his colt in the last 3 years. When he sees him, the black whinnies his challenge of fight. The great horse Satan just stays calm and walks into his stall peacefully. You also find out later in the book that one of the horses that is in the international racehorse, Eldorado, the Spaniard horse, gets swamp fever. Swamp fever is where a horse will shift its weight back and forth from each back leg every often. Alex also, when he is at the International Horse Stadium, he lets one of the trainers of Eldorado use his water bucket. And he's been having Eldorado drink out of that bucket ever since before he was put to sleep. Then, though, Alex didn't know he had swamp fever, so he had been filling up the water bucket with Eldorado's bucket. So then, when they find out he has swamp fever, and they say that all the horses have to be in quarantine for 40 days, Alec is worried that the Black Stallion may have swamp fever. So, when they are in quarantine for 40 days, they use these 2 test horses, named Napoleon and this other racehorse. They end up being clear. The day before they had to pick them up, in early morning, there was a dangerous forest fire. Alec smells the smoke and races down and up the hill to the barn in the woods. Easy girl. So then, when he gets up there, he hops on the Black Stallion and he sees that the vets that worked at the building were already there freeing the thoroughbreds. When he ends up getting there, he hops on the Black Stallion as quick as he can. He races them into the field and tries to find an exit. They get out of there safely, but on the way, Satan and the Black Stallion have a challenge. They race up against each other, and it ends up the Black Stallion won while Satan had nobody on his back. Now I will show you what Alex Ramsey had to do every day when he owned a horse. He would first have to take his horse out of his paddock and then bring him into here. Then he would brush the horse's coat cleanly until it was fully cleaned and swept off. So then if you rode your horse, you wouldn't have to be feeling all itchy and dirty. After you are done with brushing your horse thoroughly, you would take a hoof pick. The hoof pick is used for cleaning out the horse's hoof. There is a frog in the shape of a triangle right in the center of the horse's hoof. You want to not hurt that part of the horse's hoof, otherwise the horse will not like you very well. So while you're cleaning it out, you want to make sure you're very careful. I'll try to aim this off to give you a better look. The frog is probably right between here and here. That's the part that you do not want to hit your horse's hoof, otherwise that will make them very, very angry. So once you start to see this, you know that your horse's hoof is getting cleaned. And then the major parts you only want to get are in these little deep parts right here in the horse's hoof, because that's usually where all this junk is. Once you're done, even though the rest of the hoof doesn't look that clean, this part is clean, so you just rub this stuff off, and then they think that you've done a good job. And then if you want, after you're done riding, the horse is sweaty, you usually have to rinse them off, but as you can see, she's not sweaty. So then you can either quickly go and get them a treat and say they've been a good horse. Then you go into the treat bucket, grab one treat, and then he would feed it to his horse. in the morning when you're doing this, you need to feed them twice a day. You would usually give them each a pile of hay. Since my horse Anya is allergic to hay, she has to have hay cubes, and she gets 1 bucket for a day. Well, basically 2 in the morning and night. If they go out to pasture, they only need to get fed at night, which is around 7 or 8:30. So this is what Alec Ramsey had to do when he had his horse Satan and now the Black Stallion. I hope you liked your video, and I hope you like my horse Anya that's doing a trick for you right now. Thanks.